Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Goku and Broly fuse part 1. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video and also share this video with your friends. I have created my other videos playlist, there you can watch my all videos easily, check out as well. Let's start this video. Today marks an event that will change the destiny of the universe. In their medical pods, two slept. Resting as babies would. Unknowing of their fate. The doctor walks in to check on the children. Kakarot, son of Bardock, a low-class warrior. Let us see your power. The doctor presses a button on his scooter. And measly too, how sad, the doctor said with fake sympathy, the lowest power level I've seen since the Scouters were brought in by Lord Frieza's army. The doctor walked over to the next pod. Broly, son of the middle-class warrior Paragus, let us see where your power lays. Once again clicking the scouter, a number appears before his eyes and the doctor reels back in shock. 10,000. Impossible. I must warn King Vegeta immediately. The doctor runs off, waking up Kakarot and Broly, the latter of which has a look of irritation on his face while the former begins to cry. Suddenly someone appears in the room, a blue-white-haired man. He walks towards the pods and looks down upon the two children. To think that you two have such destinies, never before have mortals been a threat to the gods, yet here you two are. What do I do with you? The self-proclaimed god who's looked upon the two children with a neutral expression. Perhaps. This is a good thing, but you two separately live out your lives. One hating the other while the latter is clueless of his own heritage. He walks closer and peers down on Kakarot. You are truly destined for great things. He then walks over to Broly and peers down upon him, and you are destined for great power, but it shall go to waste as you shall be manipulated and used. And once freedom comes, your sanity will be long gone. What a waste. Suddenly, a brilliant, crazy, stupid idea comes to the mind of Whis, of being greater than even the supreme. Maybe I can merge your destinies. Shake things up a bit. The universe has been quite boring since the sealing of that Majin Buu character thousands of years ago. Yes, that is exactly what I will do. Together you two shall be great, a legend like none other. Whis picks up both Broly and Kakarot. Holding them to his chest, he begins to chant, causing both infants to begin glowing and draw closer to each other. Then, after a few minutes, he slams his staff into the ground, causing tremors throughout the planet as the babies' bodies, souls, minds, and very essence begin to merge, and after what seems like hours, but was in fact seconds, an infant appears in their place. Brokarot was born, a child who would one day grow up to challenge the so-called gods themselves. Whis, having finished the fusion, walked to the space pod docks. Placing baby Brokarot in an elite pod, he set the destination to Earth. The planet baby Kakarot would have been sent to if it were not for his interference. Goodbye Brokarot, I will see you soon, become strong and we shall see if a mortal can indeed surpass the gods. Brokarot looked up at Whis with innocent eyes that narrowed upon his face. As if to say, you'll see. 6 months later. On a floating island, high above the earth, stood Kami, the guardian of Earth. Minutes earlier, he had sensed a fearsome yet innocent power heading in the direction of the Earth. A power so great, he couldn't imagine. Suddenly, far in the distance, a machine pierced the Earth's atmosphere. Kami, fearing for the planet's safety, decided to see who this fearsome being was and to see if he could stop it or at the least seal it before it could harm the Earth. Flying off of the lookout, Kami went straight for the crater where a metallic object laid. Cautiously approaching it, he thought, whoa, what is this power? How can anyone be this strong? This power is enormous. Whoever this is, I must protect the planet from him, even if I have to sacrifice my life. Suddenly, the pod door opened, revealing the shock of the Kami. There in the alien pod lay a tailed baby no older than a year. Spiky bluish black hair, a chubby tummy, a round face, beautiful bluish brown eyes and power like no other seen before. In the pod as well was a small box. Kami stood there, staring at the baby, the shock not quite gone yet. How can any mere child contain so much power? This is impossible. Kami slowly approached the child, determined to kill the child before it could become a threat. When Kami came within 3 feet of the child, he stopped, raising his hand shakily from what he was about to do. Pouring all his power into his palm, creating a deep green light that slowly expanded, he thought, I must do this. I am sorry child, but you are a threat to this planet and its people. Seconds before he was to release the blast, one that he did not know would be completely ineffective, the child fully awoke, looking straight into the eyes of the green Namekian. The child began to cry, feeling hunger and thirst and not understanding where he was or what was going on. The crying touched a place in Kami's heart he did not know existed. The desire for a child, a legacy, to take over his place as guardian and protector. The idea slowly became more appealing, and Kami lowered his hand. I will raise this child as my own and instill goodness in his heart. He will grow to be this planet's protector, not destroyer. One like no other before. Kami approached the child and picked him up, staring into his eyes as the child's tail swung around in what was akin to curiosity. The child suddenly smiled and laughed as Kami held him close and began to fly back to the lookout. Now what do I call you?" Seeing the naive and empty look the child had on his face, Kami thought, like a void in nothingness, so careless and ignorant. Like all babies are perhaps Goku. The child laughed and cheered at the name, causing Kami to smile. Goku it is then. On that day the destiny of the child was chosen. He would be the protector of the innocent, of all those who cry out for peace in the darkness of oppression. He will be the light in the dark, the protector of all who cannot protect themselves. He will be the legendary Super Saiyan. 12 long years have gone by since that fateful day. Brokarot had trained hard since that day. At first he had a deep aggression that would not be sated. But with time and Kami's wisdom the child became docile and loving of life. The one known as Goku sat still in meditation. Today, on his 12th birthday, he had completed his training with Kami. He had mastered the ancient style of the Guardians, learned the magic taught therein, and mastered the manipulation of energy. Goku was a wise, intelligent and very knowledgeable young man. Throughout the years he soaked in all lessons brought to him like a sponge. Kami even got to bring in textbooks from the schools to teach Goku science, math, and many other subjects. Most importantly, Kami taught Goku history. Goku studied deeply on the history of humanity. Their mistakes, their triumphs, and ultimately their failures. Goku possessed wisdom far beyond his years. On this day, another turn in the crossroads of his life shall be made. "Goku, come here for a second," says Kami. "Yes, Kami-sensei." Goku stands up from his meditation and opens his beautiful blue and brown eyes. The energy in the child was staggering. It was felt by all the masters of martial arts the day he arrived on Earth. But Goku had long learned to suppress his power to undetectable levels. Goku walked slowly and firmly to his master and surrogate father. He saw Kami as his savior. He taught Goku the important lessons of life and saved him from a life of savagery and barbarism. As Goku stood before Kami, Kami looked at him with appraising eyes. "He has grown into a fine young man," thought Kami. "But he must learn to experience life, to make friends, to adventure and explore, to learn to love this earth like I have. Goku, you have learned everything I have to teach you and surpassed all my expectations. It is for this reason today that you will leave the lookout for the first time in 12 years to explore the world." Goku looked shocked, but his expression changed to a determined smile. "Finally. You won't regret this, Dad, I promise. I'll come back ready to take over as Guardian of Earth and you can finally rest. I promise I'll make you proud." Kami smiled as he said, "I am already proud of you, Goku. Now go, visit your space pod along the way and see if it has anything of value for you to use. Also, visit Korin and tell him Kami said to give you 100 senzu beans. That cat has been growing them for centuries, better with you than wasting away in the tower." "Thank you, father, I'll do as you ask. I'll see you again in 6 years like we planned. I love you," Goku said, and then he rushed off of the lookout and flew down to Korin's tower, missing the reply Kami gave him. "I love you too, my son," said Kami as he shed a tear. With Goku. Korin, the old cat, was sitting down in his tower doing nothing. I mean, what can he do other than grow beans? When suddenly Goku jumped right in front of him, frightening the old cat almost to death. "Damn it, Goku. Can't you give old men some warning? You almost scared me to death." Goku laughed while nervously rubbing the back of his head. "Sorry, old man, I was just coming by for some senzu beans. I'm going on a trip around the world and Kami told me to get some from you." Korin stared at Goku for a second before asking hesitantly, "How much did Kami tell you to get?" Goku thought for a second before he said, "About 100. Korin screamed out, "What, 100? Are you crazy? You know how long it takes to grow that many beans." "So what?" Goku asked. "It's not like you have any use for them anyway. You grew them for this very reason. To give worthy warriors and heroes the tool of recovery and healing to assist them in their battles. Is that not correct?" Goku said, showing the deep wisdom he had gained through his studies. "Well, that's right, I guess. Fine, give me a second." A minute later Korin returned with a small golden bag of 100 senzu beans. "Take care not to waste them. I don't want you coming by asking for more for another century, you hear?" said Korin. "Yeah, whatever, you old cat, I got to go. Thanks for the senzu, see ya," said Goku before he jumped off to the tower and flew off into the unknown. Over Mount Paozu, 500 miles from Kami's lookout. Where did that pod fall?" thought Goku as he flew over Mount Paozu. After a few minutes of searching he found it covered in moss and dirt. "Oh, there it is." Looking around the pod, Goku saw nothing of interest, so he decided to look inside. He found a small box. Opening it, Goku found what seemed to be a green and black plated armor and what looked like a scooter. "Well, it's a good thing they sent me with this. I don't think I'll ever go back to Planet Vegeta. Not until I'm strong enough to defeat Frieza and King Vegeta." For now their tyranny will continue unimpeded. But soon, I will return and free the galaxy from their evil," said Goku out loud. He quickly changed into the armor that stretched to fit his form. He put on the scooter, admiring its feel, and decided to use it to look for power levels. A power level of 110, 2 miles east. I wonder who that is, Goku. After a few minutes of walking he came upon a house. He decided to knock on the door. After a few seconds an old man opened the door and greeted the weirdly dressed stranger. "Well, hello there, young man, what are you doing out here so far from the city?" "Well sir, my name is Goku and I'm a martial artist. I felt your power and thought maybe you could train me and teach me some of your techniques. If you are also a martial artist," said Goku. The young man seems powerful. And from his way of speaking and the way he stands I can tell he is well disciplined. I haven't taken a student in a long time. That reminds me, maybe I should visit Master Roshi soon. "Well child, I can teach you, but it'll be hard. You'll have to work hard and help around the house. You can live with me until either I teach you all that I know or you quit. How's that sound?" Goku looked at Gohan and smirked at me. "Quit? Not going to happen, old timer." Gohan laughed at the old timer. "Let me show you what this old timer can do. The name's Gohan, by the way. Nice to meet you, now let's get to it." And for the next few months Goku stayed and trained hard with Gohan, bonding with the old man and learning techniques that even Kami did not know existed. Goku avoided looking at the moon when it came out full once every month. He mastered his Zero transformation for sure, but that didn't mean he couldn't accidentally squash someone when he transforms or walks around. And so, months later, a beautiful bluish purple-haired beauty came by on a motorcycle. On a motorcycle, a beautiful 16-year-old scientist adventuress approached the home of Son Gohan and his pupil Kami Goku. Soon she reached a small cabin easily mistaken as a shed. Checking the Dragon Raider again, she sees that it is inside the shed and knocks on the door. A few seconds later a young tall handsome boy answers. Looking to be around 13 years of age and 5 feet tall. Bulma blushed briefly at the sight of the young man. Hello. How can I help you?" said Goku. "Bulma. Name's Bulma, I was just wondering if you had a Dragon Ball." "The dragon what?" said Goku comically. Bulma blushes deeply at the implication and quickly corrects the assumption. "A Dragon Ball. It looks like this." Bulma takes out a bright orange ball with 2 red stars on it from her backpack. "The Dragon Ball, I found it in my basement, and when I researched it, I found in an ancient book that there are 7 of these mystical balls that when gathered together summon a dragon that can grant any wish." Goku narrows his eyes. "Any wish you say?" Bulma nods excitedly. "Yes. Any wish. And I'm going to wish for the perfect boyfriend." Goku blankly stares at Bulma for a full minute before he registered her statement. "Let me get this straight, you are looking for the mystical Dragon Balls that grant any wish when brought together. ANYWISH, infinite resources, new technology, superpowers, super intelligence. Anything. And you're going to wish for a goddamn boyfriend? You've got to be kidding me." Bulma looked away in shame before she looked back at Goku with anger. "Well then, what would you wish for, huh?" Goku stops for a second to think. "I'd wish for peace, to end world hunger, to be able to protect those who need protection. To have the knowledge and resources to help those around me. Why don't you wish for something like that?" Bulma stares at Goku with admiration. This child, no, this man was truly noble and honorable. To think so selflessly, she looks down in shame at her selfish intentions and immediately comes to a conclusion. "Alright, why don't you come with me on my quest and you can have the wish. I think you're right and I promise to never be selfish like that again." Goku smiles kindly at Bulma and asks her to wait a moment as he enters his house. He approaches Gohan, who is cooking in the kitchen. "Who's at the door, Goku?" This woman says she is collecting 7 mystical balls called Dragon Balls that when gathered together grant any wish. I just wonder why Kami never told me about them. Anyway, I wanted to ask you if I could have that orange ball with 4 red stars on it. I want to go with her to collect these balls. I think it'll be a good experience." Gohan finishes cooking and sits down at the table to eat the food. "Dragon Balls, eh? Fine, you can have it, but give me a minute to get packed. I want to visit Master Roshi and I'd appreciate it if you dropped me off along the way, and I also think he had one of these balls now that you've mentioned it." "Sounds good. We'll meet you outside. Don't take too long." Old timer Goku walks outside with a 4-star ball, wearing his Saiyan armor and scouter, while having necessities packed in a bag he held over his shoulder. Bulma stares at Goku in his armor, finding him extremely attractive. A few moments later she comes out of her daze and asks him about the scouter and the armor. Goku goes on to explain his origins, not telling Bulma of Kami, but telling her of his Saiyan heritage and his arrival on Earth. Bulma, extremely shocked by what she was told, asked many more questions that Goku reluctantly answered before she finally accepted it. They went on to travel, stopping briefly when a foolish man tried to rob them, only to have his head smashed in by Goku. They kept traveling at a quick pace. Eventually Goku became impatient and grabbed Bulma and Gohan and flew straight to Rashi's island in seconds. Upon reaching their destination, a surprised old man came to greet them and asked them what they came for. "Hello, my name is Rashi, what are you doing on my island? Were you just flying? Wait, is that you Gohan?" "Yes master, it's me. I came with my companion and student Goku and his new friend. I came to visit you, well Goku here came by to ask you for something." Master Rashi looked briefly at Goku before sensing something powerful within him. Frightened momentarily, Rashi eventually got control of his mind and saw the attractive women next to Goku. "Oh my, what is a princess like you doing all the way out here?" Rashi said disgustingly to Bulma, who felt like she was going to vomit. Goku, seeing Rashi's intentions, suddenly and unknowingly growled deeply, causing Rashi to back away while waving his hands innocently. Sorry. I didn't know you two were together anyway, what do you guys need?" Goku, hearing what Rashi was implying, immediately took liking to the idea that Bulma was certainly attractive. And if she was able to make the radar and all her other equipment, she was very intelligent as well. He might as well ask her out sometime, maybe after they find the rest of the Dragon Balls. Bulma, however, blushed a deep crimson and looked at Goku quickly before turning away. "It's not like that. We're just friends," said Bulma, still blushing deeply. Goku rolled his eyes at her obvious display of attraction and looked at the necklace around Rashi's neck. "We want that necklace, what do you want to exchange for it?" "And don't you dare say a woman," said Goku, while giving a fierce glare at the perverted old man. No, I wouldn't ask for such a thing. No, I'm missing my pet turtle. He can talk. And well, he is somewhere in that direction. He has been missing for years, and if you find him, I'll give you my necklace." Goku looked at the old man for a few seconds before he closed his eyes and felt the energy of a turtle. Goku flew away only to reappear seconds later holding an old and quite startled turtle in his hands. "Master Rashi, how did I get here?" asked the turtle. Master Rashi looked with fascination at Goku, then back at the turtle in his hands. He appeared in seconds, so fast, how can anyone be that powerful? This child is dangerous, but I don't sense any malice in him. Rather, he gives off a calm aura. Maybe I can take on another student. Master Rashi thanked Goku before handing him the Dragon Ball around his neck. "Thank you Goku, here is the necklace, not that I know what you'd want with it. Anyway, I was wondering if you were looking for a teacher. I can teach you some advanced martial arts. The turtle style is renowned around the world, you know." Goku thought for a moment, seeing no harm in taking on another teacher. He accepted. But put off any training until after the Dragon Ball hunt was completed. Finally, leaving Gohan behind, Goku took Bulma, much to her own discomfort, and flew her back to land. "Now, we have 3 Dragon Balls. Where to next?" Bulma looks at Goku and shakes her head. "No, we have 4 Dragon Balls. I had found 2 before I met you in Mount Paozu." "For huh?" said Goku. "Sounds good, so where to next?" Bulma turns on her radar and makes a 360 turn him that way. Bulma points to a direction somewhere to the east. Goku, before Bulma could protest, grabbed her and flew off in that direction. After a couple minutes of flying with Bulma holding on to him like a lifeline, they finally reached a village where Bulma told him to stop. Shortly after stopping, Goku and Bulma hear screams and see a large monster threatening the villagers. He recognized the shape-shifting magic that was taught at an academy somewhere in East City, having observed them using Kami's magic. He even recognized the key, and in a matter of seconds a hole is put through the stomach of the monster that with a puff of smoke turns into a pig, a dead pig. If there is one thing I hate, it is a disgusting, child-molesting, and power-abusing pig, yells Goku in anger. Bulma, shocked and somewhat afraid, steps back before she gets a hold of herself, knowing that what Goku did was right, even though it was sudden. Thank you, oh great one. You have saved us all. How can we ever repay you?" An old man steps forward and asks Goku. Goku, after calming down, looks at the smiling villagers, elevating any guilt he felt for killing the seemingly at the time monster turned shape-shifting pig. "First, I want to ask, what did that monster want from your village?" said Goku. The village elder looked down in sadness. "He wanted our daughters, we gave him one every time he asked, but he would always return for more, threatening our peaceful village every time. We do not know where he took them. And I'm afraid we may never find them," said the village elder. Goku shook his head and once again extended his senses. He felt a cluster of weak human ki up a nearby mountain and told the villagers to follow him. He led them to their daughters and the villagers were reunited. "Oh great. What could we ever do to repay you?" Goku took out a Dragon Ball from Bulma's backpack. "We are looking for balls that look like this. If any of you have one, I'd appreciate it if you give it to me." An old lady stepped forward asking Goku to come back with her to the village. Goku nodded and he walked down the mountain with the old lady, Bulma, and the rest of the villagers. The old lady entered her home for a moment to take out a Dragon Ball. Goku thanked her before saying goodbye to the villagers, once again picking up Bulma and flying away before she could protest. He flew until he reached a clearing where he stopped and asked Bulma to check the Dragon Raider. "Where is the next ball?" Goku said. Bulma looked at him with a look of irritation. "Stop doing that. We have a car for a reason, okay?" Bulma said angrily, "What's the point of driving when you can fly, and don't you like being close to me?" said Goku. Bulma blushed and looked away before she just looked back and nodded at Goku with a smile. She took out her Dragon Raider and checked for the nearest Dragon Ball. Only 2 remained. The next Dragon Ball is at Fire Mountain," Bulma exclaimed with a hint of fear. "What's wrong with Fire Mountain?" asked Goku curiously. "Don't you know? The Ox King rules that land. And he kills anyone that trespasses," said Bulma. "Pills, how dare he? Let us go get Dragon Ball." "Don't worry, I'll deal with this, Ox King," said Goku's anger clearly in his voice. Bulma for a second wanted to question Goku on his ability to defeat someone like the Ox King. But after a few seconds she decides to put her trust in Goku. She smirks and walks up to him before kissing him on the cheek and grabbing onto him. "Well, my big strong hero, are we going to get the Dragon Ball or what?" Bulma said seductively. Goku for once actually blushed lightly before he returned Bulma's smirk with one of his own. He grabbed her tightly and floated up into the air facing the direction of Fire Mountain. "Hold on tight, my princess. This will be one hell of a ride," said Goku before he zooms at the speed of sound, causing Bulma to hold onto him very tightly, leaving no distance between their chests and underthings. Goku smirked at the closeness before focusing on the destination. He reached it a few minutes later. Yes, he never meets Yamcha or Poor. If he did, he'd probably kill them. He looks at the castle burning on top of a mountain and asks Bulma if the Dragon Ball is inside. She confirms, so Goku prepares to turn off the fire, but before he can, a giant axe strikes at him. In seconds Goku brings the weapon to a stop with his bare hands before looking at a large man dressed in black armor with a black horn helmet. "So this is the infamous Ox King, why did you attack us?" The Ox King, momentarily shocked, gets out of his stupor and glares at Goku. "You are trying to steal my treasure, aren't you?" Goku looks at the Ox King before he nods and says, "Yes, well, kind of. We wanted to get this orange spherical red stared ball called a Dragon Ball. One is in your castle and we were hoping to get it. I'm sorry. We should have asked first. Maybe if I help you turn off the fire you'd let me take it." The Ox King looked curiously at Goku before nodding his head and standing straight. "I have a good feeling about you, kid. Okay, if you can turn off the fire I'll let you take the ball you're looking for. But please try not to destroy my castle." "Will Goku do it?" Goku stood at the cliff and looked at the mountain before slowly cupping his hands to his side. Yelled Goku, though it looked like he was struggling to increase the power of the wave. In truth, he was withholding as much energy as he could so as not to destroy the castle or the mountain. The fire instantly snuffed out and the castle momentarily shook before it became still again. Goku looked at the Ox King and nodded. The Ox King said in an awe-filled tone, "Amazing. Thank you. I will get you the ball from my treasure immediately. And I'll even give you some gold to spend on your travels." "May it serve you well," said the Ox King before he left for 30 minutes and returned with an orange ball with red stars on it. Bulma grabbed the ball before smiling. "Only one to go," she said. Goku nodded in Bulma's direction, about to head out. He went to say goodbye to the Ox King, who stopped Goku before he left and asked him to find his daughter Kai Kai. Goku said he was too busy. And as the Ox King was free now that his castle is safe, that he should retrieve his daughter himself. And not to become lazy. The Ox King, understanding Goku's reasoning, nodded and left to retrieve his daughter as Goku and Bulma flew out to retrieve the final Dragon Ball. They found it at the bottom of a lake, and as they were about to leave, a plane flew in with 3 people. 1 woman, 1 dog-man hybrid. And finally a small elf-like blue man. Goku decided to wait and see what these 3 wanted, and he spoke to them as they came out of the plane. "Excuse me, but are you guys looking for something?" The blue elf man replied hastily, "Yes, I am looking for the Dragon Balls, so I can wish for world domination. I, Emperor Pilaf, will rule the world." Goku's sweat dropped on the idiotic emperor before speaking. "Well, sorry, but the Dragon Balls are ours, and unless you change your intention for a better wish, I won't let you touch them." Pilaf looked at the tall boy wearing strange armor and a green device on his eye. He felt that he should listen to him, but ignored the feeling of something he would regret before saying, "Listen here. You will listen to me or die. Maybe not your pretty friend though. She is quite beautiful. Kill the monkey boy and take the Dragon Balls." Goku looked at Pilaf with a look of utter disgust before raising his hands and in seconds blasted Pilaf and his minions to dust. "People like that should not exist in the world," said Goku before he looked at Bulma, who was mildly disturbed by the act of violence, before she remembered that they finally had all 7 Dragon Balls. "Goku, we have the Dragon Balls, so what are you going to wish for?" said Bulma excitedly. "Calm down. I think I'll wish for knowledge. The knowledge of my heritage. You see, there is this tyrant named Frieza, he rules over my race and many others. He is a space pirate who sends his armies to take over planets and sometimes kill off their populations completely, only to sell the planets off to the highest bidder. He is a disgusting person. But extremely powerful. I don't know if I'm strong enough to defeat him. I think I'll wish for the knowledge so that I can free our galaxy from his tyranny and free my race even though they don't deserve it. They entered this willingly, and if they don't change, I'll destroy them myself," said Goku, sadly but with a clear determination. "Wow, Goku, I never thought that you had so much planned such noble goals. Please make the wish, Goku. I support you 100%, and maybe after this we can go out on a date," Bulma said to Goku, slightly blushing. Goku looked at Bulma before he came in suddenly and kissed her deeply on the lips, causing her to become dazed before she smiled brightly. "Thank you, Bulma, this means a lot to me," said Goku passionately. Finally, they took out the Dragon Balls and put them together in a circle. With the 7th star Dragon Ball in the middle before they said together, "Rise Shenron, Eternal Dragon. And grant me my wish." The 7 Dragon Balls began flashing yellow on and off before they glowed strongly, and something akin to lightning came out, slowly taking form into a giant green dragon. "You have summoned me, mortals. What is your wish?" asked the dragon in a deep booming voice. "I wish I knew all about the power of the Saiyan race, of the power able to be reached by a Saiyan, a power to rival the gods themselves." The dragon was silent for a moment as if it was having a conversation in its head. Up above, in a different realm, the one known as Whis spoke to the dragon, giving him permission to tell Goku about the SSJG transformation. "Your wish has been granted, mortal, goodbye." The Dragon Ball slowly rose to the sky as the dragon finished inside and suddenly scattered around the world. Goku stood still momentarily before he was bombarded with information. The Super Saiyan transformation, the legendary Super Saiyan transformation, all the limits and power that the Saiyan race could reach he knew, and he smiled a big smile. "There is so much to learn, so much to gain the limits. I am truly happy that I was born a Saiyan," thought Goku as he realized the limitless potential he had. "I will transform, I will defeat you, Frieza, I will become a Super Saiyan," said Goku aloud, his thoughts drifting into words. And here is where the legend of Goku, BROKAROT, the legendary Super Saiyan, took its next step. 3 years have passed since that fateful day. Goku has grown stronger by the hour, relentless in his quest to surpass the tyrant Frieza. After dropping Bulma to her home, he took up Rashi's offer of training. Having surpassed the old pervert before he was even born in terms of power, Goku learned all the techniques that Rashi had to teach him. From after image to lightning murder, Goku had easily learned all the old man had to teach him in the first few months. He stayed making new attacks with Rashi. He created the Super Kamehameha Wave, the Spiral Kamehameha Wave, which drills into the opponent, making it need a lot less power to defeat a stronger opponent by attacking one part of the body rather than the whole body at the same time. Goku had grown immensely in the past 3 years, now 15 years of age he grew to 6 foot 5 inches, he was massively muscled all over. He had handsome angelic features with a constant prominent smile on his face. He occasionally met with Bulma over the first year of his training and went on various dates. They soon fell in love. But for the last 2 years, Goku was busy with his training, and Bulma had taken apart Goku's pod and scouter to increase technology and to help build a faster, stronger ship for Goku to travel in. She was also working on a gravity room for him after hearing Goku mention Planet Vegeta's gravity being 10x that of Earth and how much more efficient his training would be if he were there. Bulma didn't tell Goku she was working on it as a surprise. She had grown beautifully in the past 3 years, and today, she would meet Goku again for the first time in a while. Earlier in his 3-year training, Goku met a monk named Krillin, who was also seeking training with Rashi. Though Goku was a pupil of Master Rashi due to Goku's previous mastery of a higher form of martial arts taught by Kami, Goku did not learn beside Krillin and was even a partial teacher to the young bald monk. Today, Goku leaves with Krillin and Rashi to the world's martial arts tournament in order to compete. Goku is going to meet new people and gain experience because regardless of his power, skill is more important and it would be foolish for him to think he knew all there was to know. Krillin wanted to go in order to prove himself to Master Rashi and Goku. He had trained hard under both of them and even learned the Kamehameha himself, as well as made his own technique called Kienzan or Destructo Disc. Funnily enough, it only took Goku one look at the technique to learn it himself, much to Krillin's annoyance. But in exchange, Goku taught Krillin how to sense energy, to fight without depending on your eyes, and even how to fly to Krillin's joy. Today is the day of the tournament, and Goku is walking inside the tournament building with Master Rashi and Krillin. He is keeping an eye out for a certain blue-haired angel. Finally, he sees her inside the building close to the registration line. She was looking at the fighters arriving, hope shining in her eyes with each one to enter. Finally, her eyes landed on Goku and for a second they just stared at each other. Finally, after what seemed like forever they ran into each other's arms and embraced tightly. Goku began to kiss her, and she returned it tenfold. After what seemed like hours but was in fact a few seconds they separated. "I've missed you so much my love," said Goku as he stared at Bulma with adoring eyes that even the most oblivious could tell was love. "I missed you so much Goku, please let's not be separated for so long again, I missed you so much, I love you too," said Bulma, tears in her eyes. Goku just smiled kindly before taking her hands in his, ignoring the jealous looks in Krillin and Master Roshi's faces before he walked in line and registered along with Krillin into the tournament. As there was a small wait before the first matches, Goku and Bulma went up into a hotel room where they got reacquainted. The next day they both woke up refreshed and happy. Goku got up to get ready for his match. Before he could put on his GI given to him by Master Roshi, Bulma stopped him. "No need to wear that, I remade your Saiyan armor, I made it with reinforced material and took out unnecessary parts to allow for more mobility. It's 50% more durable than before. Plus you won't have to stretch it from baby size to adult," Bulma said jokingly. Goku smiled and took the armor appreciatively, as well as the new scouter that was updated to handle much higher power levels, as his own had increased exponentially to the extent that his own scouter got destroyed from trying to measure him. "Very comfortable, thank you. I really do appreciate the effort. I promise to make it up to you my love," Goku said. "Just don't go away for so long, okay? You can live with me in a capsule corporation. As long as you are with me I have all that I want," said Bulma lovingly. Goku smiled and nodded before he walked down into the tournament block, waiting to see who he would face. First, there was a preliminary round to eliminate the weaker fighters. Luckily for Krillin, his block was a different one than Goku. Goku dominated the competition with ease and blew all his enemies out of the ring, shocking the spectators with his display of power. After a few moments, the announcer spoke. "Well ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have quite the powerhouse here. This will surely be a great spectacle." Krillin, with little challenge, also dominated in his block and went on to the next round. Slowly but surely, both Krillin and BROKAROT dominated the competition before it was just the two of them that remained in the finals. "Try your best Krillin, hold nothing back or you'll lose before you can even blink," said Goku, sounding arrogant to those who did not know him. "Yeah, don't worry, I don't think I can even hurt you if I went all out. So I might as well," said Krillin nervously. The announcer signaled the beginning of the fight. Krillin charged Goku immediately, going in with a feint, then attacking from behind while leaving an afterimage. Goku, not fooled, simply stuck his leg out behind him, smashing Krillin back to the edge of the ring. Krillin immediately got back up again, circling Goku before charging at him from the side this time, shooting a ki blast at Goku's left while spinning and attacking Goku from the right. Goku, having lowered his power to match Krillin's, wasn't able to move in time to dodge both Krillin and the blast, and instead countered the blast with one hand while grabbing Krillin's head and smashing him into the arena floor with the other. "Oh my. What a devastating move. Can the young student of Master Roshi recover in time?" said the announcer. Excitement was clear in his voice from the amazing show of skill. Krillin, after 7 seconds, rose back up again in a clear daze. Knowing that he could not face Goku head-on, he decided to use sneaky tactics. Jumping away from Goku, creating a gap between them, Krillin seemingly charged a powerful Kamehameha wave and shot it at Goku in seconds. Goku decided to block the attack, but strangely it hit the ground in front of him rather than him directly. Suddenly movement came behind Goku and he felt something latch onto his tail. "Gotcha. Shouldn't have left it dangling behind you like that, Goku. Especially when it's your only weakness," said Krillin proudly. Goku, however, didn't react at all, and after a second he threw Krillin off of him and out of the ring with a shake of his tail. Krillin was stunned as Goku walked up to him and said, "Do you really think I'd leave that weakness? I trained my tail, you can no longer use it against me. You should have factored that in as a possibility in your strategy," said Goku, before he helped Krillin stand up and went towards the announcer. "Amazing. We have a winner, Goku no Kami, the 21st World Martial Arts Champion." Goku smiles and takes the reward of 1 million zeni and the honor of being the world's greatest fighter. Goku leaves later with Bulma, Krillin leaves also with Master Roshi. Goku asked Bulma if she wanted to collect the Dragon Balls again. When Bulma asked him why, he replied with a desire to keep it out of the hands of people like Pilaf. Bulma asked why he didn't just get one of the Dragon Balls. Goku, seeing the logic in that, agreed. And after a few weeks in the Capsule Corporation, Goku left with Bulma again to retrieve at least one of the Dragon Balls. Gohan, having long left back to his home in Mount Paozu to live out his days, Roshi and Krillin trained back at the island. Goku and Bulma found the 4-star Dragon Ball. But as Goku was trying to leave, a group known as the Red Ribbon Army came upon him with a Dragon Ball. They threatened to kill him if he did not hand it over. When Goku inquired about their intentions, they ignored his question and tried to lay down fire upon him and Bulma. Goku quickly took Bulma away from the bullets before he returned anger clear in his eyes as he grabbed the leader of this group of soldiers and smashed his head in with his bare hands. Startled and afraid, the rest of the soldiers either tried to open fire or run away. Goku would have none of that and charged at them, destroying them one by one. After they all lay dead, Goku took the Dragon Balls in their possession and asked Bulma about the so-called army. The Red Ribbon Army are a rebel group. They seek to control the world and are run by Commander Red. It seems they found out about the Dragon Balls and they want to use them for their own purposes, said Bulma angrily. I see, said Goku. He then made the decision to wipe out this army of scum from the face of the earth. Any organization willing to kill innocent people for power is one that isn't worthy of living on this earth, thought Goku. He and Bulma returned to Capsule Corporation where they stored the 3 Dragon Balls they had gotten. Goku tells Bulma to stay there for her safety and flies out to various Red Ribbon Army bases, destroying them with ease one at a time. Finally, when Goku reached the last and main base, he destroyed their entire defense and charged through directly to the top level of the base. Then there was a short midget-like man who looked at the giant that was Goku and began to shake in fear. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to attack you and your friend We just wanted the Dragon Balls so that I could wish to be the tallest man on earth. I've always been mocked for my shortness. I felt like I deserved some reward for all the bullying I've dealt with, said Commander Red. These statements caused Goku's eyes to blaze with fury and in a deep powerful voice Goku spoke. You killed innocent people, hired ruthless assassins, Tao is dead by the way, and destroyed lives just so that you could be taller, said Goku, his anger causing the entire structure to shake. Giving warning to a certain doctor who took initiative to flee the base before it came down on his head. Commander Red, seeing his death before his eyes, began to plead with the angry, green glowing Saiyan, hint, no, please don't. I'll give you anything you want, just don't kill me. Red pleaded shamelessly. Goku, hearing nothing and seeing only Red, raised his arm before releasing a powerful blast, causing an explosion in a 100-meter radius around him, destroying Commander Red and bringing down the entire facility. Goku, seeing nothing around him, began to calm down his green-tinted aura residing as he looked for a moment at what was once a base of a great army. And left, flying back to Capsule Corporation. 2 years later. After 2 years living in Capsule Corporation with Bulma, Goku was a happy young man. Grown to 7 feet tall with some growth still left. He came out of his 500x gravity chamber and showered quickly before walking into the living area. There sat his lovely wife of 1 year and their 1.5-year-old son, who Goku named Campo, after his father and his mentor Kami and his friend Mr. Popo. Campo was born with a power level of 20,000. Quite powerful. His power had only grown with time, and the 1.5-year-old already had a power level of 100,000, showing faster growth than his father, possibly due to the blend of human and Saiyan genes. Goku brushed the thought off and smiled at his lovely wife and child. Life was truly good. It had been 5 years since Goku saw his father Kami. He decided that he might visit him sometime later this week. Goku asked Bulma, so when can I train the little guy? Bulma looked at Goku before she laughed. He is only 1.5 years, Goku, give him another 2 years at least. Then I promise you can train him to your heart's content, said Bulma. Goku grumbled something out before nodding and saying fine, but no more than 2 years. He is a Saiyan and fighting is in his blood. It would do no good to suppress that. Bulma nodded before saying yes, I know that, Goku, and I agree. I'm just saying he is too young right now. Plus, he is half human as well. And we humans like eating chocolate and playing with toys at that age. Not exercising. Bulma exclaimed. Goku agreed with Bulma before he went into the kitchen, finding a box-like device that when pressed, materialized food. Making a meal for himself. Goku filled his stomach to the brim before kissing Campo and Bulma, the former of which was laughing and playing with his own tail, before he left to see Kami. Seeing no need to put it off for another week. Goku reached Kami's lookout in a few hours due to deciding to take a slow pace. Once he reached there, he sensed something wrong. Kami was fighting someone. Goku hurried to the lookout only to see his beloved father fighting for his life against a small creature. The creature was being overpowered, and before Goku could do anything, the creature took out some kind of rice cooker and broke it open. Kami gasped and in anger killed the elf creature before standing back as a green mist began to form into a solid figure. The figure looked exactly like Kami, except darker somehow. The figure laughed before exclaiming, I am free. The Demon King Piccolo has returned. Piccolo attempted to attack Kami, but before he could take a step forward, Goku had smashed his knee against the Demon King, only to see Kami recoil, as if he was also struck. Goku looked between the two in fear, realizing that they were connected somehow and anything he did to this Piccolo would also hurt Kami. Piccolo, realizing the hesitance of Goku, laughed. So Kami, you have taken a pupil, I see. And to think we were once one being. Yet a being of this power exists, and instead of destroying him before he becomes a threat, you decide to train him. Pathetic. I'm glad we are no longer one. I could not stand your foolish mind and weak heart, said King Piccolo in disgust of Kami. Kami, however, after a few moments collected himself and looked at Piccolo. Piccolo, you are my responsibility. Due to my inability to overcome the hatred in my heart, I had to separate into two beings. All the death you have caused, it is because of my own weakness. But no more. Today, we shall become one again. I have become much stronger. Brokarot came to me quickly, said Kami. Brokarot obeyed without hesitation. And Kami placed his hand on Brokarot's forehead. A brief glow appeared between them before Kami exclaimed, there, you are now the guardian of Earth. And now I no longer need to be pure. I will take your evil Piccolo, and I will crush it or destroy myself in the process, said Kami, who lunged at Piccolo, who attempted to escape but was outmatched by his stronger half. Kami quickly grabbed Piccolo, and a glow appeared between them. You will regret this, Kami. I will make you destroy all that you care for. I will destroy you from the inside if I have to. No, no, no. Were the last words of Piccolo as his very essence was absorbed into Kami. After a few minutes the glow subsided. And there stood Kami, looking a little more youthful, but not by much. His power had grown tenfold, but even then he did not surpass Brokarot in power. Father, said Brokarot. Master Kami, yelled Mr. Popo in fear. Kami stood straight and looked at both Brokarot and Popo before he smiled gently. Yes, it is me. Worry not. Piccolo is slowly being absorbed into me. He might have overwhelmed me if this was 18 years ago. But training Brokarot made me much stronger. Kami looked in Goku's direction before his smile turned into a slight frown. Goku, I'm sorry my son, I have not seen you in years, but here I must go. I remember my origins. I am an Namekian from planet Namek. I must see if my people survived the storm that killed most of them off and lead my parents to send me to this planet. Please take care of the Earth. I will see you again someday. Forgive me, but my people may need me. I must return to them if they are still alive, said Kami, sadness clear in his expression. Mr. Popo also looked quite sad, whereas Brokarot had only a brief look of sadness before his wisdom showed. I understand, father, and were I in your place I would do the same. I forgive you, father. Please, take whatever you need from the lookout before you leave. And have a safe journey. I will come to this planet Namek someday so that we may meet again. Now go to your people and bring them joy in your existence, said Goku, causing a bright smile to come on Kami's face. Kami flew off into the distance, leaving Brokarot alone at the lookout. Moments later Brokarot groaned. Oh god. What the hell am I going to tell Bulma? Thanks for watching this video. Part 1 is over. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. And also check out the playlist that I have created and enjoy. Link is in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.